Yep. Film Vault. Welcome everyone to the Film Vault. That is Anderson. I'm Bryan, for your hosts for today. Finally, after many years, paying off top 5 actresses cursed by good looks. Actresses who don't get their due, maybe historically or contemporary. Either way, we'll be discussing 5 choices each. Any crossover?
Perhaps, but I want to let people know early in this episode that we realize we don't sound like we normally do. Don't stop listening because of that reason, because you will adjust and we won't sound like this next week or for the maybe ever again. But Bryan is still out of town, still gallivanting for the 4th of July, which is now the 5th of July. So it's strange that he's still out of town, but here we are. And the equipment that he needed to make this sound good, as it always does, broke. It does not work for him, or maybe he just didn't remember to bring it. I can't tell.
I think it's fried.
Never sure with Bryan. But yeah, so that's why he sounds like hell, worse than normal, and I sound golden per usual. So just this week, guys, we'll be back in fully fit next week. All right. Apologies.
That's right. Next week's topic, as far as we know, has nothing to do with the ladies. So Avery will be back too. It'll be a full family show.
Yes, it's a bit that continues to get kicked while it's dead. It's a dead bit.
Haunted.
Avery loves
it. Do we know what next week's topic is?
I don't believe we do.
Oh, short week.
Sorry, there's a lot of topics to get to. So we'll come up with that soon here. And let's get into it. As far as top 5 ladies cursed by good looks, or pigeonholed, as it were, or what else? Overlooked by the award.
That can manifest itself in a number of ways. Like I have some on my list who are, had they not been very good looking, would have probably been a lot more respected for their acting chops, let alone not just for being beautiful sirens of the screen. I got a couple of way back picks, a couple of comedic actresses who, had they not been so funny, perhaps they would have been more well regarded as thespians.
I think I just thought of one of yours that might be on your list there, Brad. I have a decent also ran list as well. You might give me some flack for some of my picks. You might say that they're not great actresses. A few of mine on here have received Razzies, but I'll say that it's because they get a lot. I know that all of these actresses, I've seen all of them do really good work in one movie or another. I know they're capable of it, and I think a lot of the time, just being like a beautiful woman will, obviously only certain roles will come across your desk.
Sure.
Be offered to you, and you get pigeonholed, just like you get pigeonholed in all sorts of areas in Hollywood and in life, right? So while this is a problem for my 5 actresses, I think there are a number who have been very, very successful despite their good looks, possibly because of their good looks, because they took roles where they dress down, or Hollywood loves it. The public loves that, to see somebody a striking beauty look ugly on the screen. They'll say, "Oh, so brave," and then you have another faction going, "Well, that should have gone to an ugly person." But a lot of the time they get rewarded for dressing down, or there are a number of those. That's maybe a whole other category, like beautiful women that were rewarded for looking ugly,
ugly it up
in a role. But I really like all the actresses on my list. I wish I could see them in more challenging roles. And also my one main caveat was no Oscar wins.
Yeah, sadly, one of mine does have an Oscar win, but I think I'll convince you either way. But I try to do the same thing.
I had to keep one off my list because she did have one Oscar win. And I think she definitely fits the bill, but she won. So she has been. It's hard to say that an argument can be made. I could say maybe she would have won 3 or 4 others if she had been given the opportunity, but probably wasn't. So there's that.
All right, fair. I wonder if it's the same person.
Could be. All right. You want to get to it? Anything else you want to say there?
Now I want to talk some beautiful women.
Let's talk lovely ladies.
Let's do it. My first pick, I'm going to the Wayback Machine. This woman is currently 90 years old. She has retired from acting. Her last, she debuted in 1954, but had kind of a brief career. Only acted twice after 1983 and effectively retired in 1991. I'm talking about Kim Novak.
Mhm.
Kim Novak, the classic beauty, thought of as I think today just sort of considered, one of the classic beauties of Hollywood's golden age. But she had an all-time iconic role in Vertigo, which was not nominated for an Oscar, and also was very good in a movie I saw recently, The Man with the Golden Arm with Frank Sinatra.
Ugh.
This is a really good actress who was beautiful by anyone's objective standards, and I think suffered a little bit because of it. She wasn't getting the role she wanted. I think the reason the cursory research I did, she retired because she was being asked to do things she didn't want to do, and she wasn't enjoying her roles, and I don't think she got the recognition she deserved and maybe thought she deserved. So sadly, Kim Novak's still alive. I don't know what she's doing at 90 years old, but
She's probably laying in a bed.
probably at this point, probably laying in a bed. That said, we missed out on decades of Kim Novak roles, probably because she was cursed by her good looks.
Good pull, Bryan. Look at you.
Yeah,
Trying to look like you know stuff.
I know. I
Speaking
would
of
start off with my strongest one.
speaking of knowing stuff, I'm doing that thing which I'm known to do, which is talk about a movie that was Flickfest earlier in the week, here in the middle of top five, and that is it's akin to what we're talking about. Not akin to it. It goes with what we're talking about. It's in the same field, so I'm going to allow it, Bryan.
Please.
And then level 16, and all of the actresses, all of the parts, I should say, of the girls, the young girls from that movie that we talked about last week, that David Gulick assigned us. They were all named, their first names were all after famous actresses from the past.
I was wondering, because one of them was named Ava, one of them was named Vivian, and I was kind of putting that together, but then I got bored.
So you're saying you knew that, but you didn't really know that.
I was wondering if there
Very
was. I'm glad
Very-
you
very
went ahead and connected those dots.
We got Audrey, we got Veronica, one of the Olivia was one of them, Rita was one of them. You got the old Sophia and Vivian.
Who's Veronica in real life? I don't know who Veronica is.
Don't ask me about old actresses, Bryan. I don't know. I'm not good with them.
Sorry,
I'm not good with old timey movies.
That was a mistake.
Modern day actors. I'm just not good with the names of the actors. I know the creators, Bryan. I don't know the actors. Why don't you look it up? Veronica?
Yeah, maybe I will. All right, what's your number 5?
I think it's Veronica Mars.
Oh, that could be it.
Was it Veronica that you're having a hard time with?
You said Veronica.
Is that the name though? Because I said a lot of names.
Yes.
All right. Number 5 for me. This is one that I didn't know much about, and I have her high on the list because she has been nominated for an Oscar. She has not won an Oscar, but she was nominated for The Theory of Everything. Of course, I'm talking about Felicity Jones. She is a vision. She is beautiful, and she is very, very adept in every role that I've seen her in.
Who is this? Sorry,
Felicity Jones.
Gotcha. Right. Yes, she's
Felicity
she's very pretty.
She's very, very pretty, and she's very effective. I love her as an actor. Like, she's great in everything that I've seen her in. Obviously, a lot of people know her from Rogue One, but she's been great. And The Theory of Everything is really the one where it's like, wow, she can act, and she was awarded with a nomination. But it kind of troubles me. It bothers me that I don't see her in more. Not to say the actresses that get cast in these worthy roles aren't due or shouldn't get the casting, but I would like to see a Felicity Jones, and I think sometimes she might just be too pretty for.
That's interesting. Yeah, she is a really good actress, but I think she is thought of as cute.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, like pigeonholed in these sort of roles, like you're talking about.
Or maybe she's just picking wrong. I mean, the movies that she's been in since The Theory of Everything aren't movies that I've even seen, for the most part. So other than the Star Wars,
she's picking wrong by not seeing movies you've seen or not being in movies you've seen.
Well, I mean, they're not movies that I want to see either, and a lot of time it does come down to Inferno. I'm not going to go see Inferno, and just look at the poster. Look at it. It's not a movie for me.
I will say that I think the classic actress Veronica refers to Veronica Lake, who I'm only vaguely familiar with. She's best known for, according to IMDb, Sullivan's Travels, The Blue Dahlia. You feel like the knockoff posters you'd see in like a DVD bin in Chinatown. Sullivan Travels, not Gulliver Travels. The Blue Dahlia, not the Black Dahlia. This Gun for Hire, and I Married a Witch.
Maybe she was like the Queen of B, because I'm not familiar with her. I'm not with Veronica.
I think I only kind of know the name. Anyway, that's most likely who they named her after.
The Aeronauts, which I wanted to see the Aeronauts. I'm talking about Felicity Jones again because it was a re-teaming of everyone that was not everyone, but the main players that were in The Theory of Everything, which was great. I absolutely love that. The Theory of Everything was fantastic with Eddie Redmayne and Felicity Jones. Tom Harper directed, but I just didn't have much of a interest in the balloon movie.
Yeah, I struggle to name something she's been in besides Rogue One.
And not to make it sound like Tom Harper directed of The Theory of Everything. That was not him.
All right, you're rambling. Are you good?
I know, Brian. It's because you're not here. You're not here to keep me on my toes. James Marsh directed The Theory of Everything. Okay.
James Marsden, number 4 for me.
James
4
Marsh,
for me.
right.
A comedic actress who is actually a very good actress, but doesn't. And this could be a little bit self-imposed because this is a very, very, very wealthy woman from her time on the show Friends. We're talking about Lisa Kudrow. Lisa Kudrow will forever be known primarily for playing Phoebe on Friends, which got her 6 Emmy nominations and 1 win. But she has serious acting talent. Everyone knows my feelings on Romeo and Michelle, but let's not forget about The Opposite of Sex, the rare dramatic role that where she played the disapproving friend who wanted Christina Ricci out, the interloper.
Get her out.
Get her out.
I think she's more of a less victim of beauty, Brian, and more a victim of TV too. Like, she's not.
You might be right.
Sitcom.
But she played a beautiful friend on Friends.
Well, it's hard to look at her on the big screen, and it's weird because you can almost hear people clapping and laughing. You know what I mean with the live studio.
Oh, with the laugh track.
It's jarring. Yeah.
Interesting. I hadn't observed that, but and whoever. Sorry, I didn't write it down foolishly. But the writer and director of Opposite of Sex, he's gone on to make 2 more movies starring her because apparently she's a muse of his. And
she's a delight to work with, I would imagine. Yeah, she's good. She plays the bitch really, really well too.
Yeah. No, I think she could probably Charlie, easy buddy. I think she could probably knock some dramatic parts out of the park if given the opportunity. But maybe she's like, hey, I'm retired or semi-retired or whatever it is.
All right. Here we go. For my number 4. I could see getting some flack from you and perhaps the listeners, but I'm saying Mila Jovovich.
Sure. No, that's fine. She's very beautiful.
She's very
beautiful. Model, for God's sake.
And she started out as a model, but just the work in The Fifth Element showed me that she's capable of a lot more than, just kicking zombies' bums. You know what I mean? What am I talking about? 6-year-old zombies' bums?
Let me look at her. Yeah, because she was in more than just the one serious movie, right?
Mainly like Resident Evil is where she's been, and Monster Hunter and Hellboy. These are the types of movies that she's given. But I'm not even Zoolander 2. I'm talking about what she did.
Zoolander 2.
The Fifth Element just showed that she's got, I don't even want to say range, because that's the only time we've ever seen her do something that was anything beyond just Resident Evil types, stuff. She was also good, and He Got Game. But The Fifth Element, like as Lilu, she could do so many things, I would imagine, but she's just, and this could be her pick and wrong too again, but she's also received a lot of Razzies, but I would imagine that's because of the types of projects that she's in.
Dazed and Confused, I was thinking about.
Oh yeah. She was probably playing a version of herself in that, right? I would think. She was in Cuffs way back when, but
I saw Cuffs in the theater.
After The Fifth Element, I thought, here's the next, really, really powerhouse beauty that's going to be, co-star and love interest. And, she took a different path, and maybe that's just because that's what she enjoys. I have heard stories from friends who know her, and she is a bit of a free spirit and does what she wants. And maybe she didn't want to be a part of the main, I don't know. I don't know what.
We're also, wildly speculating here. I imagine whether it's Lisa Kudrow or, Mila Jovovich, there's a a business element to this, which is, hey, strike while the iron's hot, make hay while the sun shines. You're beautiful, and sadly, Hollywood values that above all else. So make your money while you can, because it's a short window. I'm speculating, but that's a reality.
No, that is true. Like a lot of actresses that I really, really liked as a kid, like you just don't see them anymore. And part of that could be their own vanity. Part of it could be like they're not getting roles like you suggest. It could be like, the two of those issues in concert. But a lot of the time, it's just like, where they go? I'd like to see them again. Yeah. Somebody who was almost on my list. Like I miss her so much. And I guess she's on TV here and there, but she's just not in movies anymore.
Who's this?
Someone on my also ran.
I thought you said the name. I missed it. All right. Good. Very good.
She was on Parker Lewis Can't Lose. Remember that show, Bryan? Parker Lewis Can't Lose.
I do. That came out the same time as a Ferris Bueller TV show, which was similar in tone.
Yeah, well, I think Parker Lewis was the original knockoff. Yeah. And then the Ferris Bueller is like, hey, we could do that too, because he's just ripping off Ferris Bueller. Essentially, let's do our own Ferris Bueller because we are Ferris. I think that's what happened. I think
might be. I don't have the answer here in front of me. I tell you what I do as number 3, and you probably guessed this at the top of the episode when your eyes lit up when I mentioned comedic actresses. There is no better comedic actress since the turn of the century than Anna Faris.
That's not who I was thinking. That's not who I was thinking.
Really?
Yes, I was not. Yes, no. I was not.
Her comedy work is, of course, unparalleled. Scary Movie, Just Friends. You all know my feelings on that. The House Bunny. She's not a great movie. She's fantastic in. But let's not forget her small but effective dramatic work. Lost in Translation, Brokeback Mountain. These are not huge roles, but she can pull off multiple tones. And I wish she was given the opportunity. I just see her pigeonholed as the cute comedic actress who can make you laugh, but I think there's a lot to Anna Faris, and I hope she has a second, or at this point third act to her career, because she's a TV star now. That show Mom is, how long has that gone on for? It feels like forever.
I'm not even familiar with the show.
Oh, really? It's her. Speaking of actors stolen,
like a network show.
Well, yeah, it's a network show. Speaking of actors stolen by comic book films, Allison Janney has been doing Mom with Anna Faris.
Oh yes, I do.
What feels like 10 years.
Yeah, and they find it's like complacency almost. But
it's a steady paycheck. It's a good thing when you got kids and you live in Los Angeles.
Where did she stretch her wings, or stretch her acting ability to make you think that she'd be a great dramatic actress, or somebody who?
I don't know that she'd be a great dramatic actress. I suspect she would, because comedy is harder than drama, and she nails comedy so well.
So Jim Carrey should have a few Oscars.
What's that?
So Jim Carrey should have a number of Oscars with that logic.
Yeah, if he was given a chance, and
he was given many chances. That's all the man wanted to do.
He was given many chances. Ryan Reynolds is a good example of a comedic actor who was given some chances to do dramatic work, and it worked. But
and The Voices, where else? Where else did it work for old
Mississippi Grind?
Oh, good pull. He was still getting his Brian Mendelsohn still acted him under the table, though. I never seen that they shared.
That's true. That's true. Hey, it's the second, but
kind of held his own. Maybe he kind of he wasn't completely out of place, but Mendelsohn, my God, Mendelsohn.
Of course, Mendelssohn's a master class in dramatic acting.
Yes. All right, number three for me is Miss Gina Gershon. We all love Gina Gershon, and we know from her work in the recent, it's not that recent, it's 2011, but Killer Joe, William Friedkin's Killer Joe, where she was forced to service a drumstick. She was put through the paces in that movie, and I think that she was very effective. Of course, we all love her in Bound. She's a character actor almost, with 156. Not almost, she is 156 acting credits she's got there, Bryan. But she's never been nominated for anything, and she's fantastic. She's so good.
That's a good choice.
She's got such a great look, and all these actresses that we're talking about today, like, they're all capable. They all have it in them, I think. And there's so many more that have it in them. They're just not afforded the opportunity. And maybe it's just not important to these ladies too, because I'm mainly going off have they been nominated a bunch of times? Have they been in Oscar? It's mainly looking at the Academy Awards, and Gina Gershon's name never comes up. It's never come up. She's never been like, oh my God, this is her year. It might one day. I mean, it would be a great Hollywood story and people love that. It's like Gina Gershon comes out of nowhere after, almost 200 credits and she's, finally getting her due. But, and it could just be choices. Like maybe that's just not important to Gina Gershon to like find a Oscar Beatty type role. I don't know.
It's interesting because for a number of reasons. One, you could make the argument that Jennifer Tilly could belong on this list, her Bound co-star. Number two, Gina Gershon is a great choice because she's an actress more so even than Mila Jovovich, where it's almost impossible to remove her attractiveness and sexuality from her roles. You know what I mean? Like it's in almost everything she does,
right?
And thus you kind of forget that she's really talented at acting.
And she's good she's got comedic chops. I mean, if going back to what you say with like comedy is harder, I mean, she was great on Curb Your Enthusiasm. I don't know if you ever saw her in that, but she was very funny.
A lot of movies, I know.
But yeah, Gina Gershon, I would love to see, and she's still out there. She's still acting. She's not one of these actresses that we talked about earlier that kind of just disappears. She's still doing stuff. So
good. All right, you want to take a break?
Recently, what was she in recently, Brad? Come on.
Tell me.
IMDb, man, it's just not my friend anymore. It's just not.
They've changed for the worst.
She was in Aquafina is Nora from Queens, which is a TV series, which I did not see.
Indeed.
She's got a bunch of stuff. It's in post-production. So she's still working a lot. She's almost becoming like the Eric Roberts. It seems like you can get her
right.
Almost.
Yeah, you got Emily Grand, he'll be in your movie.
Emily the Criminal is when we last saw her. You and I. She was in New Amsterdam TV series, but yeah, she was in Emily the Criminal.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, I forgot about that.
As the old she's seen it all. She's been there. She's like the older version almost.
She was the executive that she went to have an interview with.
Oh, that's right.
She assaulted her.
Yes. And it's kind of like set that she was the inciting incident. Yes. Damn, I took a swing there thinking that she was what I envisioned in my mind, but I was wrong, Bryan.
You're wrong.
Way to pull that, brother. All right. Yeah. Let's take a quick break here. Do a little Amazon and other.
Yeah.
And then we'll be back.
After this.
All right.
They want to start off by thanking you guys. Yeah, you, the listener, the customer, as it were. That's the person we're trying to entertain and help pick movies. You guys have done an amazing job. Tap that Amazon link, that Amazon banner started 2 days ago to record this, and already you guys are buying stuff for Prime Day and the first couple of weeks of July. Like I mentioned, Amazon was kind enough to increase our payouts on a number of categories. So you guys heeded the call and have tapped the banner and gotten a lot of cool stuff.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Yeah, definitely. Such as a Braun electric waterproof razor was purchased. Someone got a Walker exhaust quiet flow muffler assembly. Moonbeam shipping label printer. These companies need to like name themselves after words.
I think we're out of names. Bryan.
Yeah, this.
You know what I don't like? I don't like when they take a word that everyone knows and then just change the name, like Lyft is a prime example of that. I don't like that. Lyft was already like, you already trademarked LIFT, so they had to do it's be LYFT. I don't like it.
Yeah, this one is AIBOO, ABU kitchen under cabinet lighting. Garmin Forerunner GPS running watch, 300 ultra pure. Oh, someone's either making a lot of whipped cream or getting high because someone got 300 ultra pure whipped cream chargers. Hammer mill printer paper, Noblewell. Noblewell. That's a compound word I can get on board with. Ergonomic office chair. Then not so much this one. Pilier. 1,000 white balloon stick holders. Brembo front brake rotor for Toyota was purchased. Someone got a Avantry Ensemble wireless over-ear headphones. Wet and Forget multi-service outdoor stain remover. Monstrum stealth fixed scope for your firearm. Hamilton Beach toaster oven air fryer combo. Chill Sun, but it's S-U-N. Chill Sun, twin air mattress, LG Blu-ray player, Simple Human trash bags, Nenbolic Oktoberfest beer stein. Nice, enjoy that. Burt's Bees dog grooming wipes, Marvel Masterworks, The Amazing Spider-Man Volume 24. Someone heard you talking about Stan Lee and was very inspired.
Yeah, it's impossible, Brian.
That's probably would actually be mathematically impossible. Bosch Icon wiper blades, Meat Church barbecue rubber variety pack, Barnana dipped banana bites, and finally, someone got themselves some very nice high-end Anthony shaving cream. Nailed it.
Hey, remember a few weeks ago when we were talking about that listener that got a couple neon signs, the pizza and the game room?
Yeah, I was going to bring that up next time
Games
they bought the other thing, but yeah.
Well, I thought I'd just bring it because I've done all the work of pulling up the email and whatnot. So the mystery has been solved. Somebody bought 2 pizza neon signs as well as game zone signs, and Bryan thought it might have been for their garage, or they had like their own pizza cookery at home, or like a oven or something. And I said perhaps it's a pizza restaurant,
An actual brick and mortar.
Turns out that it's a listener who I guess has been buying stuff through the click-through for quite some time with us. Rob, shout out to Rob. If you're up in the Puget Sound area, he got that for his chain restaurant because he has a number of chains. He doesn't like the word chain, but he's got a number of them. So sorry, Rob. And it's Forelli's Pizza. Tell him that the Film Vault sent you. And I mean, we don't have any kind of like affiliation or anything other than he's a listener. But Forelli's Pizza, I think he's also has something to do with, I don't know.
Tell them the Film Vault sent you and they won't spit on your pizza. How about that?
Yeah.
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 By the way, let me take this opportunity to say the real treat was not just finding out about the neon signs that we wondered about. The real treat is he solved the mystery. It was him. It was this same person who has been buying the shipping labels. Remember 20,000 shipping labels like every other week? And like, what is this, like a realtor who's shipping this much stuff? Turns out they use the labels not only to close the pizza boxes, but also to write down the order on the actual box.
That's true.
Yeah.
Everything, it's all true. So thank you very much to all business owners out there that listen to the program and find it in their heart to click through. So we appreciate that. Now a little here are the Amazon click throughs, the movies that were click through Amazon since the last time I talked at you. Varsity Blues was click through. That was for our watch along. I wonder if somebody did that night of, or if they did it after the fact, or they just did it before. Who knows? But Varsity Blues was click through, which
enjoyable experience.
Can't be coincidental. Splendor in the Grass, a movie I still need to see. I think I'm getting to the age where I'm like, did I see that or did I not? What About Bob was click through. I know I saw that one. Did not like the first time. Have loved the second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth time that I've seen that. What About Bob? Everybody's Fine was click through, as well as Man on Fire. Tangerines was click through. Fuck to the S with the Tangerines. Wow, that's not to be confused with Tangerine, unless there's a misprint here. But Tangerines is a small little movie, anti-war film, Brian. Tangerine. Yeah,
that's the foreign film that was up for the Oscar a few years ago.
I really like that. Tangerine. So it's about a farmer. His life, Brian, is all about making life and creating oranges, little tangerines. He has a tangerine farm, and there's warring factions on either side of his property, and 2 of them get into a fight on his own property, like a battle. And they're both like knocked unconscious, and then he nurses these 2 warring opponents, adversaries back to health in his little farmhouse. It's a beautiful story, beautiful movie. Tangerines. Thanks for clicking through. Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. Fuck to the S, especially when I was young. I'm like, why aren't there more Mr. Smiths? We need more Mr. Smiths. You know what? I'll say that our last Mr. Smith that we actually had in office was Jimmy Carter. Closest thing we've had to a Mr. Smith over there in Washington, at least on the big stage. The Big Lebowski was clicked through, as well as Season's End, Better Off Dead, Love Gets a Room, Sanctuary, Dune, Master Gardener. God, I gotta see that Master Gardener just to close the loop on the trilogy, Brian. I need to watch that Master Gardener. I'm just dreading it because I heard it's the 3rd worst of the.
Because Apprentice Gardener was good. Journeyman Gardener was good.
We're talking about Paul Schrader's journal trilogy, because all of his characters VO journal entries. We're talking about the Card Counter, and before that, First Reformed, and he rounds it out with Master Gardener, which I'll get to you by the end of the year. Guardians of the Galaxy is the final click through from the last time we talked at you. Thank you very much to everybody for clicking through. And now, back to the program. Right.
We're back. Thank goodness. You want me to do my number 2?
Do it up, bro. Do it up. Wait, number 2? Really? No.
Yeah.
No. What was your number 3?
Do we skip your 3?
Oh, we didn't. Oh my God. Look at that. Jesus.
Powering through. It's funny because I thought of this actress and I was like, yeah, this person is known for being beautiful and for being in certain types of movies, some of which are much better than others. And I was doing the research. I'm like, oh, she has been in a ton of dramatic movies, but had she not been so pretty, she was a model before she was a actress, this person's career might have taken a very different turn. Talking about Cameron Diaz.
Mm-hmm. That's who I thought and then you said Anna Faris, but I was thinking comedy actress Cameron Diaz, mainly from Something About Mary. That's where I thought you were going.
So that's interesting. So
you know that?
There's an alternate timeline.
Blonde comedians, 3 of them so far.
Indeed. I believe there's an alternate timeline out there where Cameron Diaz turned her back on the big budget mainstream Hollywood studio films and embraces more esoteric, interesting roles. Now we miss out on The Mask. We'd miss out on There's Something About
Miss
Mary.
out on The Mask, Brian. We would have avoided The Mask.
She was very good in The Mask.
It was terrible. It was an awful movie, and you should be ashamed if you've ever enjoyed it.
Oh no, it's not true.
It's awful.
But we get more Being John Malkovich. We get more Vanilla Sky, The Counselor, which not a great movie, but she was very good in, and of course Gangs of New York. Like this is a seasoned dramatic actress, and she can still do comedy. Cameron Diaz has a ton of range. I just wish she'd get a little more recognition for it.
All right, I'm going to be a dick here and just to you, I guess, and to Miss Cameron, who I like very much. I like her on the screen. I like her comedic chops. I think she's the weakest part of a lot of. She's the weak link in a lot of dramatic movies I've seen, namely Gangs of New York. I mean, she just did not fit at all.
Do you think that's
Marty not directing her properly?
Well, no, I was going to say, do you think that's a result of her career being dedicated to comedy? Like this is someone who maybe if they had the dramatic reps over the course of their career would have been a little bit stronger.
So with that logic, you could say that Michael Jordan would have been the greatest hockey player ever if he didn't spend all his time baseball and basketball.
He would have been a above average baseball player if he had just dedicated. But man's a tremendous athlete. If he had dedicated his life to baseball, he would have been a great baseball player.
Yeah, and perhaps. I don't know though. I have not. I've not really seen her do anything dramatic. That also she's just so Cameron Diaz, which lends itself to this topic, right? Which is like it's almost like the Tom Cruise effect, where you see Cameron Diaz before anything else because she's got such a look, and I've never seen her lose herself in a role.
Well, being John Malkovich, she uglied it up.
Oh yeah. Good call. Okay, I do like that Cameron Diaz. I've not seen her in a while. I have not seen her.
Yeah, I have no idea what she's up to these days.
She was in Annie, and then she took 6 years off, and then she was in Boss Bitch Fight Challenge. Boss Bitch Fight Challenge, which is a video. It's not even.
I know what that is.
No one does, Brian. No one knows what Boss Bitch Fight Challenge is. It's a 5-minute short.
Okay.
Zoe Bell directed it. Mm-hmm.
So let's just say she's not working.
She's not working. Where'd she go? She might be another one of these casualties where it's just like, hey, I don't like the way I look anymore. Or I don't know. What is it? Is it, people are offering her roles, but
not just that. I mean, she reached a level of celebrity where she was producing her own films and probably calling her own shots.
Here's Boss Bitch Fight Challenge, which I did not foresee having a bunch of airtime this week, but Boss Bitch Fight Challenge 5 minutes is somehow it's 5 minutes. Zoe Bell directed. It's an at-home and bored during the pandemic lockdown. Zoe Bell picks a fight with her boss bitch friends. Glorious mayhem ensues.
That's fun.
This is celebrities having to be on screen during the pandemic.
Sure.
Quite the cast. Zoe Bell, Lucy Lawless, Drew Barrymore, Julia Lewis, Jesus, Rosario Dawson.
How do they get them all in 5 minutes?
Cameron Diaz, Caitlin Olsen, Florence Pugh. What?
I must say this will be Flick Fest next week.
I must see Boss Bitch. Boss Bitch Fight Challenge must be seen by me immediately. I bet it's a lot of Zoom calls. No, it's not. I don't know. Maybe it's not. I think it's a lot. It's a lot of. Oh, it's a lot. Oh, Jesus Christ, Brian. Guess what the aspect ratio is?
Is it 4-3?
No, it's portrait mode. Christ.
Oh no.
It's just people, actresses portrait moding themselves.
Well,
I
I'm less
don't feel
interested.
watching this. Yeah. All right. Sorry, my garage door is open. I'm doing this out in the garage because it's the best sound, but the door is open, which makes it a little less the great sound. Number 2 for me is an actress that I have a great deal of respect for. I love her, and she's worthy of nominations. I feel like she's already done work that was worthy of nominations. I said that at the time when Christine came out. Rebecca Hall, I'm talking about, and her work in Christine primarily was outstanding. She's also a writer director.
I feel like she's a respected actress.
Right there is good, man. Sorry, I'm getting a delivery too at the moment. Thanks, pal. This guy's probably like, look at this fucking podcaster. Hey,
Yeah,
I've
it is
been
good.
20 years. It's okay. It's not like we're new.
How many dudes does he walk in on podcasting?
I know.
Probably
It's
three or
probably like the
four.
third or fourth one today. It sucks. And I always want to like be like, no, but we actually, this is professional. We actually get paid for this one.
I just spit Diet Coke on my fucking laptop because of you.
I hate the how I, it's the same thing with like movie actors back in the day. And like, if you watched Babylon, it was the same kind of thing. Yeah. Am I equating myself to the golden era of cinema? Absolutely. Absolutely.
Deservedly so.
I was looked down upon, right? People look down their nose at movie stars because they weren't on the stage.
That's right.
But yes, Rebecca Hall, Passing was a movie. I did not love Passing when it came out, but it definitely showed some directing chops for sure. That was the one with Tessa Thompson, if you recall, and it was about her living in where people were black people of color were trying to pass as white just to be able to live normally at times. But Christine Chubbuck, her portrayal, Rebecca Hall's portrayal of Christine Chubbuck, really makes me lets me know that she is a one of the top working actors we have today, and she has not been, she's not gotten her due. She has not gotten her due, brother.
Is she best known for the town? Like if I'm saying to someone, "Oh, Rebecca Hall, you know her from
Vicky Cristina Barcelona," probably is how people would definitely know her. She was in The Prestige. She's in a fair amount of movies. It's just we have not seen her with the nomination yet, and I think that she is pretty, and I think that is part of the problem. It might not be my best example of that. Not to say that she's not pretty; she's more of a classic beauty. But I mean, we've seen her do everything in Christina Chubbuck, which is a crazy true life account of a woman Christine Chubbuck, who had mental illness and was a newscaster. That movie is stark and startling, and she did, she was brave, as they say. She uglied it up at times in that movie.
Did you ever see Passing? I don't think you ever did.
I saw Passing. Yeah.
It contains one of the most shockingly jarring lines of dialogue I've ever heard in my life.
As far as just how it was kind of over the top.
How it was
based something of the era.
Considered outrageous today was very much not very much passed over as just normal speech.
So, okay. So like it was the jarring dialogue that was actually in them, because I had some issues with that movie because they were reacting to things as though it was 2022 or whenever it came out.
Right.
Rather than how they probably reacted back in the day, which was like it didn't even affect them because that was just what people were saying, because so many people were just openly and ardently racist, right? So
yeah, the Skarsgård character delivers the line I'm talking about.
Yeah, and it kind of comes out of nowhere. So yes, yeah, it was jarring. You probably quoted it immediately thereafter just to see.
I got a tattoo,
Brian,
on my back. Rebecca
Hall, my number 2.
Number 1 for me, and this actually is I don't know if you consider it meta or ironic, because it's this woman's actual life became altered by just how incredibly beautiful she was. Number 1 for me, one of the all-time classic, timeless beauties on the screen, and my only Oscar winner. Although I think you'll follow my logic here when I say that Grace Kelly
Mm.
cursed by good looks. She won an Oscar earlier in her career for The Country Girl, which sadly I have not seen. I've not seen The Country Girl, but her career lasts only 8 years, partly because of her good looks. She married the Prince of Monaco and became the Princess of Monaco and quit acting. And while she'll be remembered as this classic, timeless, almost impossible beauty, she was fantastic in Rear Window. She was fantastic in Dial M for Murder. And I have no doubt that she would have had a very long career of really accomplished roles had it been for her beauty on screen, or had it not been for her beauty that took her away from the screen.
Well said, Bryan.
Mm.
Never knew you were such a classic beauty, a classic film fan.
Oh my God.
You're
You
really
look Grace
pulling
Kelly and you're like, that is beauty that spans the ages.
classic beauty. All right. Well, that brings me to my number one, and I'm kind of swinging for the fences here, Bryan. And I'm going to be honest, if it wasn't for one movie, I don't think I would have even thought of her. However, I do absolutely love this woman, and I would like to see her in more dramatic roles, but she is so GD beautiful that Mila Kunis is not afforded the roles, despite the fact despite the fact that Darren Aronofsky proved that he can get real depth out of her and real dramatic acting out of this woman. And the fact that maybe it just took too much out of her, maybe she didn't like it, maybe she just liked to do soft fluffy stuff, but her role as Lily in Black Swan proved that she has a whole lot more to offer than we've seen before or since.
That's true.
The Book of Eli, but I was giving you some shit earlier for who was it, Lisa Kudrow, or for it's hard to see her on screen in a movie and not hear laughing and a laugh track behind her. Of course, Mila Kunis is mainly known from originally that 70s show,
right,
and a bunch of comedies since. But my God, she's got the talent, and she's a vision. She's beautiful, and she's really good at playing the friend or playing the love interest and playing that funny, zany, cute character. But there's a lot more there. There's a lot more there from Mila Kunis, and we have not seen it before or since.
I don't know if this is going to make you happy or sad, or angry, or it'll either make you angry or very angry. But I would tell you that maybe, I think it was last year. I think it was last year at the end of the summer. I was hanging out next to Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher. Not with them; they wanted nothing to do with me.
Right.
But their kids were swimming with Tessa, and she complimented.
Can I just stop you there, just to paint the picture, so while you tell the rest of the story, the listeners have a better idea of what you're talking about. Bryan and his wife and their daughter, by no choice of her own, are members of a country club. And they couldn't be living a whiter life. And
it's a swim club.
It's a country club. Your wife goes to play tennis, and she spends days there, like entire days.
Oh yeah,
the country club. And you pay the dues, and you go there, and it's like it's the 1960s, 1950s, 1940s. I don't understand how these country clubs still exist. Sorry to anyone who's listening to this that loves their country club, but for me, it's just like, I want to go to a pool, and I don't want to deal with riffraff, and I want everyone to look kind of like me.
Yeah, you're saying it's a bad thing?
Apparently my number one hangs out there as well. My number one on my list this week.
So our kids were swimming.
I understand if you're a celebrity, you don't want to be bothered.
Each other. Exactly. They don't want to be anyone by the likes of me.
You ever see a celebrity there at the country club being bothered by anyone other than you?
I mean, I get bothered by a lot of people. Is that what you're talking about?
Bryan, I'm talking about celebrities.
That's really hurtful.
Have you ever seen a celebrity like be hounded or autographs?
No. In fact, I don't even think.
Is that a rule that you can't?
I think it's frowned upon. I don't know if it's. That's a great question. I have no idea if it's explicitly stated in the rules. But anyway, our kids were swimming. We were seated next to each other, just kind of watching, and she was remarking how adorable Tessa's little mermaid fins were. She wore a mermaid fin to swim in the pool, and I said thanks, and that was it.
That's what you should say is thanks. Yep. That should be there should be no more.
They were there with like friends, so it wasn't an invitation to come chat them up. It was just, oh, how cute.
She's got a crazy backstory too. She's like Russian. She came over here at an early age. Like
she's an immigrant from, I think, like I said, Russia.
Yeah, but
next time I see her, I'll ask her about that.
not to pile on and not to like, try and like one up you. I was probably going to tell this story anyways. Hi guys, your family's in the
Hey
background.
everyone.
If you're watching this on YouTube, you know what I'm talking about. They just walked by. As though she was confused, as though she's never seen you on a computer before.
Hi, gorgeous.
I was like, what's happening?
What's
Yes, I was
adorable.
I was lucky enough. It's one of my favorite celebrity stories, and it's not about Mila Kunis, even though she's involved. But it's one of my favorite Loveline celebrity encounters. Probably told the story before.
I think I was there for this.
Either here or on the After Disaster. I told the story. So we had Mila Kunis. We used to have the 70s show crew on quite a bit, but I think Mila only came in the one time. Laura Prepon was with her. I remember they were talking very badly about one of their cast members, which was kind of surprising to me. I'm not going to name names, but openly complaining about him in front of me and then to me, talking about how much they dislike this guy.
Kurtwood Smith?
No, Kurtwood is not the man. Also, who else was there? What was his name? Who was the kid?
Macaulay Culkin.
No. Bryan, you're ruining my story. No, the kid on the show. What was the kid's name?
Wilmer Valderrama.
Yeah, Wilmer Valderrama. I came in with him at one point. He was hanging around. He wasn't there that night though. I don't think so. Gio would know. So we're hanging out, and one or two of them smoked. They were coming out with me on breaks either way. So like we were talking. It was very, very fun hanging out with them because they were like the cool celebrities, or like I was really familiar with them, but like they just seemed like normal people. They were very down to earth, easy to talk to, and it was just fun talking to them about the show, but about everything. So we're out front and smoking, and Mila has this weird little like I just thought it was like a mute lesbian woman or girl that was with her and like kind of shadowing her everywhere she went, and it was so mute, so quiet, like you didn't really even notice they were there. Bryan, you ruined the story until the mute lesbian stopped being mute for a moment and asked me for a cigarette, and I said, all right, here you go. And I gave the person the mute lesbian a cigarette and then lit it for the mute lesbian. And when we were out front and the mute lesbian was wearing a hat, remember wearing a jean denim jacket with a black and white American flag upside down stitched on it. I remember noticing that before the mute lesbian's face, which I illuminated with the flame of my lighter. It was the first time I saw her face the entire night, Bryan, even though she was inside and everything. And it was Macaulay Culkin. And I'm like, what in the fuck is Macaulay Culkin doing? Oh, yeah, because they were dating at the time. But it was so the ability of Macaulay Culkin to be able to just blend in, because there's maybe like 8 people in the entire building, and we were all in one group, right? And then doing the show and then having like a 4 or 5 minute break and going out front and having a quick cigarette and talking. And Macaulay Culkin was there for the entire time. She blended in like wallpaper. It was shocking.
Does it make you amused anyway to think that Macaulay Culkin was the wealthiest person under that roof by far of anyone in the building?
Well, I don't know. I think his parents took it all, didn't they?
No, I think he got the conservatorship. It doesn't matter. Point is, he had made the most money.
Yes, he had made the most money. He had earned the most money. But yeah, that was interesting. I wish I had knew earlier. I probably would have, brought him into the conversation a little bit more. It just seemed, because I'm pretty good at like bringing people into conversations. You know that, Bryan, about me. Like, I try and make the comfortable feel more less comfortable, and the uncomfortable feel comfortable. Like that's kind of like what I feel like my job is in most rooms. So if someone's a little bit too high, I'll knock them down a little bit, and if someone's too low, I'll try and bring them back. Bring them in.
Fair.
And I just, there was no opening with this person the whole time. They're like just being unrecognized because
we established that she was mute.
She was mute. But normally I would, like say something like, well, what do you think about that? Or like, like didn't even introduce myself. They were just like hat on, head down, just like didn't want to be there, was just upset. And I don't know. I got
Let me ask you this. Actually, that's funny to bring it a full circle. This is something I think about from time to time, and I'll bring it up to you and ask you if this is cringeworthy or would make your skin crawl, or if you do your thing at this, because
I can't just do that, by the way. It has to actually come.
Okay, well, listen to the story.
Yeah.
And actually, I would like your honest reaction here. So remember how it was commonplace for the little people, not you, but the little people, to take pictures with the guests, especially if they were, notable or a fan or whatever. And
I did that twice, 2 times, no, 3 times. In my entire career at Loveline, I only did 3 Looking back, I would have liked to have had more pictures, but I just felt like such a douche. Like, well, hey, can I have my picture with you? At the time, I was too cool for it. Sure. But so Marilyn Manson for my sister. Marilyn Manson for my sister. Rainn Wilson for my good friend who loved The Office, And then Jane's Addiction, just because Anne demanded it. She like pushed me in there when everyone.
So Anne's taking pictures,
Yeah.
and I'm there, and Mila Kunis is there. The others aren't there for whatever reason. It's just Mila. They're maybe hanging out in the back or something. And
So you were there that night?
Yeah, I was for sure. Your mute friend was hanging off to the side, and I said, "Oh, can you get in here too? Because I want to take a picture with you and Mila." And there's Tessa. And I invited Macaulay Culkin, who I knew who it was at the time, to jump in the picture.
That's the story.
Yeah, is that douchey or?
Oh yeah, for sure. But it's also nice. Like, it would have been really nice if you just thought that it was a mute lesbian friend who's uncomfortable, and you were trying to make them feel comfortable. Actually, it'd be kind of weird if like you're like, hey, come get a picture. Person who's not talking to anyone and obviously doesn't want to be here. I got the sense that he did not like her being happy and nice and talking to people.
I got the sense that he didn't want to be recognized and was reluctantly there.
Like, I wonder if he was afraid of being asked to go on air. Maybe that's part of it. It's
he never made his presence known.
The only time I've ever, to my knowledge, been in contact with Macaulay Culkin, and I don't know what the deal was, but that was very strange because we've had other celebrities come in, like what's her name, Love Hewitt.
Yeah,
used to come in with Jamie Kennedy all the time, and she
really?
say, hey, do you want to go on? She'd be like, not tonight, I don't feel like getting, because Loveline was pretty hardcore, like a lot of sorts of things would come up, so she just sit there on the couch in my room and watch and talk shit about Jamie. It was fun, but maybe he was like, oh, they're gonna make me go on and I don't want to talk about sex, and there's something going on. It was very strange.
Gerard Butler sat in on our radio show in 2006 for like a week and never said a word. He was there to research a role, but he never. It is a pretty big star at the point. But anyway, the reason I brought up the Mila Kunis thing, I wanted your honest reaction. That was not me. It was actually college screener Tara. Don't call me Tara, goddammit, who did that. I did not do that. I've done a picture with Mila. I've done a picture with Mac. I've done a picture with either one of them. But I thought that I got a more pure reaction if I put myself in the story.
Well, that wasn't you. That was, I wasn't that upset about it. And I could totally see Tara doing something like that. And truth be told, most people like to get their pictures. And I get it. It's just a personal thing. I can't do hashtags. I just can't allow myself to do a hashtag. I live in my own prison, Bryan, and it's tough sometimes. It's very, very tough.
I get it.
It's tough. But yeah, Mila Kunis is my number one. I would love to see her in more dramatic roles. But I'd love to see her more often. A lot of times she's in, movies that I don't watch, but she's got it in her. And I think we all know that. And she's not been nominated for much ever. A lot of People's Choice Awards.
Well, I don't think she's thought of as a very serious actress.
But we know she's got it in her.
Yeah.
She got a couple Razzie nominations for Jupiter Ascending. Not her fault. That's the movie. It's not her fault.
Not a great film. All right. Do we have a listener top 5?
We do, and compiled as a week in, week out by Mitch Burns. Good to have you back, Mitch. And he let us know that he thinks many of the listeners were a bit confused. There were hundreds of submissions, but he would have loved to have heard the criteria, which, was, I guess Bryan and I kind of landed on the same criteria for the most part. But here's where
we can make that more clear. That's fair.
Here's where the listeners go. Number 5 is essentially like an also ran list because there's he just included 3 of them, which I guess they got many picks. These 3, and that's Megan Fox, Marilyn Monroe, and Natalie Portman. Natalie Portman has been recognized, and I feel like people do know she's a great actress, and she just chooses to do what she wants to do.
Marilyn Monroe is interesting, but Megan Fox, I don't know.
I don't know if Megan Fox can pull off an award Beatty type movie. I don't know.
Yeah, I think she's better than people give her credit for, but I think she's limited.
Got a couple here at number 4 as well. He threw in Brooke Shields. Okay, that's a great one, and especially after watching that documentary, which I still have not had a chance to give it its fair due on this here program. But the Brooke Shields documentary is fascinating and very good. I recommend. And yeah, she definitely has she has the chops, but she was definitely pigeonholed as not only like a beauty, but like a little girl beauty, which was creeps. And then Nicole Kidman, I feel like she's got her due. Everyone knows what a great actress Nicole Kidman.
I think she's a well-respected actress at this point.
Yeah, and despite her beauty, she number 3 is Margot Robbie. Same thing. Like, she's recognized and she gets awards all the time. I don't know if she's pigeonholed or only, afforded, you know, sex roles because she's beautiful when she's,
Yeah,
she,
that's an interesting one. Like, she is recognized as a really good actress, but I wonder if the good looks are holding her back a little bit in the public mind,
yeah,
because she is a really accomplished actress.
because she has been nominated for a
Yeah,
few.
for twice for I Tanya and something else. Oh, Bombshell.
Yeah. So I feel like she's up and comer and like she's still kind of new. At least that's how I think of her, is like still kind of a new actress, and she's already been recognized a couple times. That's why I wanted. I don't know if I put her on there, but an argument can be made for the listeners number two, and that's Angelina Jolie. She's got the Tom Cruise thing going on too, where her name is like bigger than her talents, or maybe her talent is big, but again, it gets overshadowed by her name. As soon as you hear Angelina Jolie, she has been recognized, and she has been in a fair number of dramatic roles. And
But I do agree with the overall gestalt, which is she is thought more of for her beauty than and her celebrity than for her acting talent, which is it's there.
yeah, how many things was she nominated for? Come on, Angelina. She, what she was able to do, and that's outgrow her father. I forget that she's John Voight's daughter. I forget that all the time.
Yeah, that's almost a footnote at this point in her life,
She
like
won.
her life story.
It is totally a footnote, an afterthought, right? She's won one Oscar, and
Really?
she's been nominated for a number of things.
What is she win an Oscar for?
I would tell you if.
Oh no, Girl Interrupted.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's right, because she thanked her brother and she wanted to make love to her brother.
that's right. And then the Changeling, I should say, which that felt like a whole lot of overacting in that particular
Eastwood's
role.
finest film.
But I mean, he gets overacting for most of his actors. So best performance by an actress in a leading role, nomination for Changeling for Angelina Jolie. And then the listeners number one is Charlize Theron, which I feel like she's definitely considered one of the top and recognized actresses despite her beauty. I feel like so maybe we should do a little bit better at giving guidelines. But
Yeah,
hey,
I agree.
for Monster, like I think that Charlize Theron, because she really was in danger of being pigeonholed with like Days in the Valley, and like how she kind of made her when she first came, and she was like half nude all the time and just like a sex object, and then she got out of that pigeonholing pretty quick.
She would have been the perfect example for this last pre-Monster.
Yeah, pre-Monster. But okay. Let's gamble. How we gambling? You got the email, Bryan? Can you take care of this?
Sure. Hold on.
I've done everything else. Pretty much every single other part of this. That's not fair, but I mean,
gambling results for Indiana Jones, The Dial of Destiny. You guessed 76. I guessed 61. Actual score with 318 reviews. The actual Rotten Tomato score is 68%, making me the winner.
That's not true at all.
That's I'm off by 7, and you're off.
I had the numbers reversed. Damn it! That was so close.
You're only off by 8.
Yeah, you're off by 7. I'm off by 8. I had the numbers reversed. I was looking at it wrong, and I thought that I won by 1, but you won by 1. Ah, son of a bitch!
Look at that!
Son of a bitch! Now I can't even watch your eyes, or I can't even. I'm not in the same room, so I can't tell if you're cheating right now. But we're going to be gambling on Joyride, which is a movie that both of us will be seeing before we talk next week.
There will be a delay while I actually look up the actual score, but
that's not how we do this. I mean,
it comes out this week, so we'll gamble on Joyride. And Anderson, do you have a number?
I do. On 3?
No, I got to think about it.
And the trailer makes it really look energetic and awesome and fun, but that's a trailer.
It's true.
It is a trailer. It's true that it's a trailer.
All right, I got a number.
So do I. On 3.
1,
2,
87. Oh, 87.
I almost said 87. Son
Dang.
Of a bitch. All right, now you look it up because just push refresh.
Oh yeah,
see if it changed.
Hit refresh here.
20 seconds ago.
Joyride. 2020.
Oh, we didn't do our also rans.
Ooh, this is gonna come down to the wire.
Currently,
with oh no, this is bad news. Currently, only 56 reviews.
Only 50.
Joyride is sitting at 91%.
Good news for me so far.
True. I imagine there'll be another 90 or so reviews coming in.
All right, so Joyride is one that we will be flick festing reviewing next week on the first episode next week, as well as Linoleum. And Josh Butler, listener Josh Butler, has assigned us Head Count for next week. So those are the three movies we will be flick festing. Bryan, you want to get to the also rans and then wrap this baby up?
Head Count, is that the adult film?
No, and then we're also going to do a spoiler right after this. Right after we end this episode, Bryan, we're going to do a spoiler for Indiana Jones, and that'll be up on the Patreon feed. Okay.
Oh, really? I think I might actually have the Star. So Head Count is streaming on Stars. I believe I have access.
Great. That's a great story for everyone. All right, let's go.
Heartfoldy would say that. All right, let me add to my included with your Star subscription. Fuck yeah.
Stars killing it. All right, let's go. Oh, Head Count, not well rated. Oh,
Count of Head.
Count of Head. Yes. Okay.
All right. Do you want also rans?
Yes.
Yeah, the one I left off the last minute, I really wanted to put on there, but yeah, there was no room. It was Madeline Kahn from back in the day. She's a great actress, a great comedic actress, and I don't think was given much love beyond what she got, but she could have done so much more. She would have been recognized for more. Goldie Hawn. Probably
yes, good call, Barbara.
Kristen Ritter to an extent, although there's a bit of a deeper role, kind of a character actress. Do you think Naomi Watts belongs on the list?
I do. I think that's a great call, and I might have even had her on my list that I thought of it. Yeah, she's really good when she's good, but she's been up for a couple of things, hasn't she?
Probably. That's why I didn't put her on the list. Diane Kruger. Weirdly not acknowledged nearly enough. Emma Watson, who played Hermione in the Harry Potter movies, is very funny, and as we saw in This Is the End. Carrie-Anne Moss, thought of only for the Matrix movies, maybe Memento, but has some range. Emily Blunt, Minnie Driver, and Mira Sorvino to a lesser extent. Well, Mira Sorvino did win an Oscar, so not on the list.
Naomi Watts, she was up for 21 grams and The Impossible. She could have made my criteria, Bryan. Naomi Watts. Should have had her on there. Son of a bitch.
I scooped you.
You did. Christina Ricci is on my also rans. I know that she's good, and then she's bad, and then she's good. I think that has a lot to do with whatever director she's working with. Alyssa Milano, we never really got to see her soar, did we? I feel like Alyssa Milano had a whole lot, but then she got, she got really mixed up with the old porn she wasn't doing porn. She was very anti-porn and an advocate for other were being
I didn't know where you're going with that.
She was an advocate for and her mother was involved too, because there was a whole lot of like fakes back then where like people were taking X-rated pictures, stills, and putting Alyssa Milano's face. She was one of the first ones to be victimized by that.
That was like the first deep fakes, although they were pretty bad. Yeah, she was a
it was just like cut and paste. It was kind of like our listener art a lot of weeks where you just cut and paste people's heads. But I don't know. I always felt like she got so mixed up in all that that it kind of took away and it was distracting for I could be wrong, but I
feel the same way about Pearl Jam. Like they spent so much time with the Ticketmaster thing. It's like, who knows how much good, stuff.
Well, Metallica did so much with Napster and they were able to pull through it. So I always have to counter you. I'm sorry, Bryan. But so Melissa, Heather Graham, I feel like she's kind of been relegated. It might be too late, but I don't know, And then Gina Davis would have been on my list for sure, but she won for the Accidental Tourist. But Gina Davis is one of my all-time favorites, and I do get I always had the feeling that she was not used as much as she could have been. She was kind of thought of as like a goofy, comedic, pretty actress, and she was great.
Good one.
The Long Kiss Goodbye.
Long Kiss Goodnight. Long Kiss
Goodnight. Long Kiss Goodnight. Yeah. Of course, The Fly and League of Their Own, and Gina Davis, of course, flying off with the all right. I almost gave the end of one. Never mind. All right. I'm losing it. I haven't eaten all day. Let's
get some food in this boy.
Yeah, let's go.
How are we doing on time?
We are doing good. There's multiple head counts too that are out there. Just to let you know, head count from Josh Butler is the indie one from just a couple years ago that's on Stars. All right.
Oh, that's the one I had it right. That's the one.
Yes, that's the one. Just wanted to make sure that you know.
Nice.
No.
All right, everyone. Thanks for downloading. Hold on, let me look at the listener art. Thanks for downloading. Thanks for listening. Oh, why are you Indiana Jones?
Oh yeah, that was good. My buddy Rand did that one. AI is making all sorts of crazy, as many of you know, like it's pretty easy to make listener art these days with AI. So it's almost cheating. You might want to let us know if you're using AI or if you made it yourself, because I know there's an art to it. But
And this is one I've looked at in the day and said, "Wow, really good Photoshop."
yeah, there's no excuse not to come up with ideas for listener art for the program anymore, guys. With the use of the old Chat GPT or whatever the fuck it's called, old man calendar.
There's many versions of AI out there that you can make wonderful listener art, such as our own Rand Cordy. Good stuff, Rand.
All right,
All right.
go.
Thanks, Rand, for that great art. Thanks, Man X. You're our featured artist of the week. Check them out, AndersonandBryan.com. And that's where you go to tap that Amazon link, which you guys are honestly doing a great job of. And we appreciate the support. So keep it up. The Amazon link sits atop AndersonandBryan.com. And from there, you can find our Instagram, Anderson and Bryan, TikTok, Anderson and Bryan, Facebook, Twitter, The Film Vault, YouTube, The Film Vault Podcast, Patreon. Are we going to have a Indiana Jones discussion on Patreon?
Yes, we are. You're going to tell me all about the end that made you almost cry, and I'm going to laugh at you.
Very good. Check that out at patreon.com/The Film Vault. Thanks as well to our Patreon listeners and supporters. Giovanni, by the way, speaking of which, rousing watch along this last month. If you want to catch up on that, it's at the $10 level. You can watch us watch Varsity Blues.
Yeah, and what's cool about that is it lives on YouTube. You get the link if you're at that level. It'll just should be like on your Patreon feed. You just tap that link, and then you can watch the movie along with our YouTube feed, and you can also see all of the comments that are made. The listener watched along with us, and there's a lot of really fun commentary, as you imagine, from our astute listeners who watched along with us.
That's half the fun right there. Is following along with the comments. Thanks, Gio, for your help. Mitch Burns, appreciate you. Mike Cole and Eric Kath, as always, appreciate you guys. And until next time.
Oh, I saw a picture of skinny Ron Lester after the show. That's not the version that came into Loveline. Ron Lester lost a ton. I didn't know how much weight he had lost, Bryan. My God, he was a vision.
He was a handsome fella once the weight came off. Very
sad that he died of all those organ failure. I guess that he was heavy for so long that his body just was like, all right, I don't care if you're thin. No, it's too late. It's too late. Also, loadedforbeardoc.com continuing to produce that documentary at some of the storylines that are coming out of there. My God, guys, I am very excited to at some point share this movie with you, and I'm going to be start showing little mini scenes and whatnot via socials pretty soon. But if you'd like to be a part of loadedforbeardoc.com, go over to Loaded for Bear. Go over to loadedforbeardoc.com. There it is. The pitch deck and budget and all that stuff, soon videos and all that stuff. It's my most recent project that I'm working on every single day. All right, thanks everybody for listening, and we do it for Van Gogh.